Now let's begin. So the reason I don't recommend protein supplements is because they're not necessary, right? They're not necessary. All it is protein. All protein supplements are is protein. You can get that protein from whole food. And he was the one that told me to do hot water with collagen with a splash of almond milk. But you can also do oat milk. Oh my god, that's so good. This is the blueberry muffin flavor. Oh my god, that's so good. This is the blueberry muffin flavor. Oh my god, that's so good. This is the blueberry muffin flavor. It's about 150 calories. 30 grams of protein. This collagen is good for your skin, joints, hair, nails.
Each time a snake whips out its tongue, it captures chemicals from the air or water and carries them back in.
Don't stop, hey, don't stop. I got the feeling that something ain't right. Run a man on that beat, hey, run a man on that. You can turn me on just a touch, baby.
So even insulin resistance, that's an issue of being overweight, obese, eating way too much food. You don't get insulin resistant. When you have so much insulin flooding through your body, because insulin is secreted when you eat a lot of food, especially carbohydrates. But when you continually eat way too much, your body isn't able to handle insulin as well. It becomes resistant to it because there's just way too much.
It was just a matter of time before the pretentious fuckboy of the YouTubes made the list. I'm certain there are loads of insecure 14-year-old boys wanting to aspire to acquire the achievements Greg O'Gallagher has accomplished. I mean, look at this. Kino clothing, which includes a $35 tank top. What a steal of a price. Kino supplements, which isn't complete without some delicious non-science backed collagen protein powder, yet we've got these claims here to solidify the Brofessor spirit. Muscle building programs for men and women, to include a KinoBody program for you women for only $69. $69. Of course you would, Greg. You false advertising tempting man whore. If anyone is new to this guy, well, his name is Greg O'Gallagher and he runs a business and YouTube channel called KinoBody. If you've never heard of him, through one of his many Google campaign ads he uses to flood the market in hopes to hook in some poor unknowing lost soul to buying into that sweet, sweet Kino life. Well, you have now. So you're welcome for that, I guess. He's a businessman and an entrepreneur who claims he didn't inherit any money from his past relatives. Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah. He bathes in what I assume to be sparkling water because why not? And it seems he's got like some type of weird obsession with drinking it all the time. I don't understand why that is. I think it's the bottle. He deadlifted 405 pounds for a sloppy double to prove he doesn't have a small penis. At least that's what he seems to be advertising. You guys didn't get that from that? Whatever. He trains his upper chest a lot. He likes DEXA scans, he eats really bad foods on the reg. The guy just seems to have it all figured out. I'm sorry, ladies and gents, but I'm failing to see what's the alluring ticket that wrangles in so many people. Don't get me wrong here, he's got a tremendous physique, and whether he inherited any money or not, he was still able to start a successful business, and he's been able to keep it running. Plus, I'm sure all you ladies out there would say he's a handsome little fucker. Psst. He also has sex.
Just saying, some roided fitness guys calling me out, probably upset that I banged his ex-girlfriend, which is true.
Damn, Greg is so savage. He's so money, this guy. I mean, check out these dance moves. Go ahead, Greg. You see what I mean? All right. Let's just cool our horses for the time being and get to brass tacks. So, Greg has finally made the list, and some may be asking, why did Greg make the list? Well, let's just say it's been long overdue. Is it the fact that he has tendencies of being a pretentious snob, or the fact that he has way too many dick root pictures and videos? No, but geez, Greg, put that thing away. There's influential children watching. Fuck. The reason why he made the list is because he speaks about nutrition, sickness, and health as if he knows what he's talking about, specifically diabetes.
He's making a huge correlation. I mean, how many lean, fit, healthy people do you know that have diabetes, that get type 2 diabetes? It's people that are super, overweight.
Actually, I do know someone who fits that criteria just perfectly. The guy right behind me. I hate to bring this dimwit up, but I can find no better example to answer Greg's question. Sean Faker, also known as Sean Baker, has a HbA1c of 6.3, and it's supposed to be lower than 5.6. And his resting glucose levels are at 127 milligrams per deciliter when they're supposed to be lower than 100. Here's the kicker. The guy's an athlete, and he fasts on the reg. I wonder what could be the culprit. Gee, I wonder if that has anything to do with it, a freezer full of dead animal parts, as that's the only thing this dimwit eats. But that's okay, even if that's the only thing he eats, because look, he's athletic. That's all that matters. You can't be diabetic when you're athletic, right? By the way, does anyone notice this rare sight here? Here we have two professors sitting together, debunking the What the Health documentary. Nonetheless, Greg and the established professor of the month, Christopher Walker, are talking about meat and how it doesn't cause diabetes, which then provokes Greg to pose the question if he knows anyone who is lean and athletic and has type 2 diabetes. And then he has this very Brofessor-like explanation of what insulin resistance is.
So even insulin resistance, that's an issue of being overweight, obese, eating way too much food. You don't get insulin resistant. When you have so much insulin flooding through your body, because insulin is secreted when you eat a lot of food, especially carbohydrates. But when you continually eat way too much, your body isn't able to handle insulin as well. It becomes resistant to it because there's just way too much.
Brilliant bro science explanation there by Greg. He is clearly proving to have earned this title quite nicely. I'll answer this question in short, pretty much the same way that Dr. Neil Bernard answered it, as he is the professional who's dealing with this on a constant basis and has even had peer-reviewed research on this exact topic. So, it's the fat in the cells that causes insulin resistance and not sugar. Animal products are loaded with saturated fat and cholesterol, which promotes the clogging of insulin receptors in muscles and cells and tissues, which does not allow insulin to do its job, which is to allow the glucose to exit the bloodstream and enter cells, tissues, and organs. This has been shown in multiple studies, and can you guess what's an effective remedy to reverse those pesky intramyocellular lipids? It's a plant-based diet. I've covered this topic in full in a video response I made to another YouTuber where I get much more into the science. If you're interested in watching it, link will be up above. Point being, foods high in saturated fat and dietary cholesterol promote insulin resistance, whereas foods high in carbohydrates that are derived from whole plant sources increase insulin sensitivity. But here's the golden nugget that flies right over Greg's head.
They didn't say why meat
Yeah, that was like
causes diabetes.
That was absolutely, yeah, they didn't say why meat caused diabetes, and that was like the most non-scientific description of diabetes I've ever heard.
So Greg is saying the What the Health documentary, or the people in the What the Health documentary, specifically Dr. Neil Bernard, are not explaining how meat causes diabetes, yet Dr. Neil Bernard in the documentary explains it very clearly. It's the fat, the buildup of fat in the body, which is causing the insulin resistance. I don't understand how that's so hard to interpret. All animal flesh and animal secretions have saturated fat and dietary cholesterol, which promotes insulin resistance. Do I need to spell it out for the professor?
And they don't actually, they say some stuff, and then they don't explain, and then they say, meat's bad.
Science. Meat.
No, that's not what the medical doctors in the What the Health documentary do. They actually rely on science based on what they are saying. And if we're going to be honest here, Professor Christopher Walker, which is Greg's boy there, he actually does exactly what they just said. Professor Christopher Walker makes a whole bunch of these bogus scientific claims and sources science that is either completely irrelevant to what he is saying or to the point that he's trying to get across, or he just gives some bullshit, ridiculous guidance based on what he heard or read from whatever supposed expert's nuts he's hanging off of. If you don't believe me, check out the professor's videos I made on Christopher Walker. He's so bad at this shit, I had to make 2 videos on this guy because he straight up lies or just spews so much shit out of that stupid mouth of his. Okay, so Greg doesn't know what he's talking about in regards to what causes diabetes and refers to other professors like Christopher Walker for information or get some kind of like confirmation approval from his meat-eating friend. But that's not all. Slapnuts here actually has the audacity to call Dr. Neil Bernard a freaking idiot.
It means it's the fatty foods, not really so much.
No, you
it's
freaking
not.
idiot!
It's
You
the fact that
freaking idiot!
that cookies have each cookie has like 500 calories, and you eat a ton of them because it's fucking cookie. And it's delicious.
It's the
Anyone catch that? He's at a loss for words. What the fuck is that, Greg? Speak, you fuck, speak. Oh, Greg, little Greg. Greg must really know what good nutrition is to call someone like Dr. Neil Bernard an idiot. So, let's see what foods Greg O'Gallagher recommends. Dead animal flesh with some veggies and some starchy carbohydrates for lunch, and pretty much the same thing for dinner. Now that is a meal plan by a man of science. Don't listen to Dr. Neil Bernard, listen to the Professor Greg O'Gallagher, because this right here is a solid meal plan example of how to eat to build muscle and be healthy at the same time. All that cholesterol, saturated fat, HCAs, heme iron, AGEs, and high acidity is super good for health and building muscle because fuck if I know. Protein maybe, I don't know. You can't expect me to know how all these professors think, man. I don't know. The arrogance to say such a thing about a certified professional who has conducted peer-reviewed science and has a history of curing diabetes and obesities is simply outrageous. I wonder what's going through that pea brain that Greg possesses. Is it the muscles maybe? The low body fat percentage, the sense of entitlement, maybe it's the sparkling water. I mean, I don't know. What is it exactly that gives him the ability to say such stupid shit and then upload it to YouTube as if he knows what he's talking about? It seems to be a common trend with these professors, as it seems to be some type of like mysterious professor way of life that we may never solve. What's sad to say is the lifestyle that Greg lives and promotes with his shitty eating habits is actually better than how most Americans eat. This must make him feel good, but the truth is, it shouldn't. It's like being in a race of 100 people and then finishing 97th and then bragging about beating out 3 morbidly obese people who haven't run in decades. Is this something worthy of promoting? Because that's how shitty his diet is in comparison to what is an actual healthy diet that is physiologically meant for humans. It's a whole foods, plant-based diet that is the healthiest diet for humans, no matter how much muscle you want to build or how lean you want to get. Is there anything else to say? I think it's about that time, wouldn't you say? So, Greg, Mr. O'Gallagher, KinoBody, here is your well-deserved award. If there's one pointer I could give to Greg, it would be to stick to the cheesy dance moves. Everybody loves to watch a dumbass make a fool of themselves, so keep doing it. I think he should stay away from making recommendations and selling overpriced bullshit supplements, as he knows jack shit about nutrition science. Those are my 2 cents, and if you disagree, then I look forward to reading any science you have brought forth showing otherwise. So I don't think there's anything further to say for the moment in regards to Mr. Greg O'Gallagher, also known as KinoBody, except for congratulations. He's made the list, he deserves it, job well done. That being said, please let me know what you think in the comment sections down below. As you know, I love to engage with all of you. Please know that I appreciate every single one of you. Feel free to rate, subscribe, and hit the ding dong button if you haven't already. I'm the Natural Hulkster. I want to thank you for watching, and please stay tuned for the next one.